All right, so this story right here is actually very interesting to me because there's an element of it that needs to be discussed that very few people are discussing. So let me walk you through it. So this is what Trump came out the other day and said. He said, "It is my great honor to report that the United States of America now fully owns and controls 10% of Intel, a great American company that has even more incredible future. I negotiated this deal with Lip Bhutan, the highly respected chief executive officer of the company. The United States paid nothing for these shares, and the shares are now valued at approximately $11 billion. This is a great deal for America and also a great deal for Intel, building leading-edge semiconductors and chips, which is what Intel does. It is fundamental to our future, to the future of our nation. Make America great again. Thank you for your attention to this matter." I don't know why he does that in every tweet now. "Thank you for your attention to this matter." So here he is basically saying the U.S. now owns 10% of Intel. So this is at least semi-nationalization of a country. And this is something that, as a general rule, left-wingers like. I can think of, off the top of my head, I can think of a bunch of industries that I think should be completely and utterly nationalized. I think, for example, the entire oil industry should be nationalized. That's just one example. But, you know, in a world that made sense, in a country that made sense, you would have a much higher percentage of the economy nationalized than we currently have it. Certain things should be public. They should not be private. They should not be for profit. They should not be in the capitalist sector. So this is a little taste of that philosophy in theory. In theory. Now, here's where it gets complicated, and here's where Trump's very existence and the fact that he's doing it totally ruins what this is in theory. Right? If it was President Bernie Sanders doing this, even if it was a President Kamala Harris doing this, it would be totally different, and I would be totally in favor of it. But since it's Trump, what's actually happening? Well, here's what Jane Keefe says. "Let me explain how this works. The model is Putin's model. Number 1, Trump nationalizes shares. Number 2, later, shares are gifted to Trump cronies. Number 3, repeat with every large U.S. corporation until the wealth of the nation is in the hands of the new royal family." I would only tweak that in this way. It's not wealth in the hands of the new royal family. That's part of it, the Trumps being the royal family. But it's also the new oligarchy. It's put that wealth in the hands of the new oligarchy. So, in other words, this isn't being nationalized, and it's not actually going to be, the U.S. taxpayers who are owning 10% of Intel. And you're going to get something from it. No, you're not. That's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, he's going to take those shares and put it in the private hands that he wants to put them in, repaying political favors. This is going to be used for corruption. So, by the way, I should point out, there's already evidence that this is the case. So he did a similar deal, $400 million stake in MP Materials, which is a rare earth miner, in July. He did a 15% China tax equity claim on NVIDIA in mid-August. And he did golden shares in steel mergers. And news came out literally just yesterday. They're planning on doing this with a bunch of other companies. Now, again, if this was Bernie Sanders, if this was Kamala Harris, if this was any Democrat, I would support it because I have no doubt that a Democrat doing this, it would actually be about the taxpayers. It would actually be about the American people. You actually own this, right? But with Trump, he's going to say, the U.S. government is owning it. That shit is going right into his fucking bank account or into a third-party account, and that shit is going to be doled out as political favors to people who play ball with him. That 100%, that's what it is. Because this is how he functions. We know this is how he functions. You'd have to be an idiot to think anything else. If you think this is actually some sort of socialist-style nationalization where it's for the people, I got a fucking bridge to sell you. This is the same guy who has like a massive corrupt crypto retreat at Mar-a-Lago. This is the same guy who does a literal pay-to-play for fucking pardons. For pardons. Somebody's mom went to Mar-a-Lago and paid him money, and then a couple of weeks later, Trump pardoned the asshole son who did this massive fraudulent scheme. This is the guy who launched a crypto scam coin on his supporters a day before his fucking inauguration. Remember that? Stealing hundreds of millions from his own supporters 2 days before his inauguration? This is the con artist of all con artists. This motherfucker is selling Bibles. This motherfucker is selling $100,000 watches. He's got a crypto exchange. He robbed his own charity. A cancer charity for kids. Are you kidding me? No, without a doubt, this is not on the up and up. This is not what it appears to be. And do not be, oh my God, I can only imagine. Could you imagine being a dumbass leftist who thinks this is what they're presenting it as at face value. Who thinks that, oh yeah, Trump woke up one day and decided, I'm gonna have politics like Bernie Sanders, even though I've been a fucking fascist my whole life. I'm gonna have politics like Bernie Sanders. Let's do a Bernie Sanders. Let's nationalize some companies. If you think it's as simple as, oh, he's just doing a left-wing thing. Oh my God, you're such a fucking rube. Oh my God, that'd be the saddest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. Please tell me there are none of you people actually out there that believe that. Please tell me every single one of you sees through this and realizes this is nothing like if Kamala were to do something like this, or Bernie were to do something like this, or any fucking Democrat were to do something like this. That would be different, right? We have a similar situation in, I want to say it's Alaska. They have, like, the people own the oil there, and so they get like a check every year or every month or something, which is, you know, their portion of the oil, right? The money that's made from the oil. And like that would be something like this working in the way it's supposed to. Do you think that's what Trump's going to do? Is that what Trump's going to do? He's going to nationalize big oil and then start cutting checks to over 300 million Americans. Nobody's that naive, right? Nobody's that naive, right? No, this is for corrupt reasons. This is for political favors. This is to create, I think Jane Keefe is right. This is to create a Putin-style oligarchy. Here, let me give it to the people who are my closest allies. Let me give it to the people who do pay to play with me. Let me give it to the people. We'll create this new royal family, this new oligarchy, and we will run the country. And that's why they're going to do it with multiple different companies. And by the way, I should also point out, this was like, the U.S. gets 10% of Intel in return for the CHIPS Act funds that were already passed under Biden and the Democrats, those funds being released to Intel. So really what happened here is Trump held the CHIPS Act money hostage and said, I'm not giving you this unless you give us 10% of the company. And when he says us, he says, in theory, it's the people of the U.S. In reality, it's going to be him and his cronies, right? That's what's happening here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So the whole thing from its conception was fucking illegal. The whole, even threatening that money, cutting that money off, illegal. Freezing the CHIPS Act money, freezing the fucking infrastructure bill money. And by the way, that money was going to create 800,000 jobs in America. And Trump just killed that on day one, as he ironically pretends like he's going to bring jobs back to America. Sick joke. Sick, disgusting joke. But that's what's going on here. So don't get it twisted. Don't fall for the head fake. The idea that this is, good is silly. And I hope there's not a single liberal or leftist that's falling for this out there. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.